All right, guys, thanks for joining me. And today we have the EcoFlow R600 overview. So what exactly is this solar generator? Obviously, it's a solar generator from EcoFlow, but I'll give you some highlights of this system. It's a small system, 288 watt hours, the base model. There's several versions, which I'll get into later. Has extremely fast charging capabilities, and it's very versatile. And I'll get into it later about what that means. There's several different versions, 3 versions, and yeah, we'll get into that in a sec. Before we continue, if you watch this and like it, subscribe and hit the bell for more solar generator information and questions, and solar panel information as well. Comment and like, and yeah, we'll get going. And then I'll include a link later on. I'll talk about that at the end. Okay, so the R600, this is what it looks like on the right. And I'll show you the specs here. So this is the base model. The base model has 288 watt hours, as I mentioned. The inverter wattage is impressive for the size of this system. 600 watts continuous, 1200 watts surge. That is very high. I mean, there's no other model that size that performs that well. The inverter type is smart pure sine wave. I don't know what smart means, but pure sine wave is the hopefully the standard. Modified sine wave isn't good with some electronics, so that's good to see. The price is $299 plus. Now, this is only on Kickstarter. It's weird. It's not on EcoFlow's website. They have something called the River 600, which I guess is a different model, but it looks just like the R600, but it's a different size or different color. So the price, that is, I don't know if it's for sale or not. Maybe it'll be on their website sometime soon. I hope so, because it looks pretty sweet. The max solar input is 200 watts, which is not bad for this size of a system. And the charge times, this is what's really impressive. 2 hours with 200 watts of solar, and then 2 hours from the wall. Now, 2 hours from the wall is very impressive. And 2 hours with the solar, 200 watts of solar, that's great. Obviously, you'll need ideal conditions for that. Sunny and the right angle, that sort of basic stuff. And then the charge cycles at the bottom, 500 plus to 80% capacity. That's pretty standard. If you look at Goal Zero and Jackery solar generators, very similar there, 500 to 80% capacity. So that is that. So now we'll get into the different options. Now this is where it gets pretty interesting. So there are several options here. And as you can see, we have the 288 watt hour system up top. And then it just gets increasingly more battery capacity as we go down, except for the last one. So we have a light and a refrigerator as the comparisons. Totally different wattages there. On the left, the lights, they'll run for a long time with all these systems. But for the refrigerator, this is where it gets interesting later on once we get more power. I wouldn't recommend using this for a refrigerator unless you have a power outage, and you probably want a larger system, because clearly 2 to 4 hours is not that long. Now there's an optional, it's called the R600 Max, where you get an additional battery that almost increases it by 2 times the capacity, which will make it last for twice as long. Then there's another model called the R600 Pro, which has even more, 768 watt hours. So it keeps going up from here. And this is cool, the R600 Pro plus their battery. So this, I believe, is the first external battery offered by EcoFlow. So it's cool to see them innovating there with 2,300 watt hours. Now we're starting to enter sort of in the large range of solar generator capacity, which is really cool. And you can see that it runs the refrigerator on the right-hand side 15 to 30 hours, which is pretty nice for like a power outage. Usually where I'm from in Chicago, if a power outage happens, it doesn't last for more than a day. So that's pretty cool to see. I'm not sure about other places. Let me know in the comments if you guys have really long power outage wait. And then lastly, down here, we have R600 Pro plus Pro Kit. So we just have some basic external batteries, 768 watt hours plus. And then at the bottom, important note, it can extend to however large you want your capacity to be by connecting to third-party deep cycle batteries. That's really important, because you can make this system as big as you really want as long as you have the external batteries. That's really cool. Some solar generators, especially ones that are this size, are not able to do that. Special features. EcoFlow app. This is sort of a little brief, some clip shots of what it looks like. Monitor, control, choose. I'm not exactly sure about all these functions, but it's pretty awesome to see that they have an application. Goal Zero is the only other company I know of that has an application for their generators. And I have some quotes here. First one is, now you compare, this is from Kickstarter, who was the main seller of the R600. Now you can pair the R600 over Wi-Fi with a new mobile app. It does everything right from the palm of your hand. You can also use it for to switch charging modes, normal mode and quiet mode. So that's interesting there. I wonder how loud it is on normal mode. Now there's something that EcoFlow specifically has for the River 600 and the R600. I don't think the EcoFlow Delta has this. So this quote is for the River 600, which is basically the R600, and the X-Boost applies to both systems equally. So here we have the X-Boost Technologies advanced built-in algorithm enables most heavy-duty kitchen appliances and tools up to 1,800 watts to operate. Now, before I continue, there's a video that I saw on EcoFlow's YouTube channel, where they talk about, or they show them using 1,800 watt power tools with the R600, and it works fine. So that's amazing. I wonder how long that will last though. With X-Boost, the River 600 Max can power 80% of essential appliances and devices, especially those within 1,200 watts for a better using experience. I'm guessing it'll last longer with 200 watts. That seems to be the obvious answer. The discharge rates in X-Boost mode can be monitored and controlled through the app. And that was from EcoFlow's website for the River 600. Extreme, this is really cool. And this was included in the EcoFlow Delta. So anyone with that system does know about the Extreme technology. Provides the fastest recharge rate on the market, working 5 times faster than the competing brands. Now, competing brands, I'm guessing they're comparing it to like Jackery and Goal Zero, which it totally does beat in charging time. But I do a lot of work with the Titan solar generator, and I know that that one, even though it's a much larger system, you can connect with 2 wall chargers. You can charge up to 1,450 watts of power from the wall as long as you have 2 batteries. So it's very expensive. It's a lot more expensive than the R600, but they're definitely talking about Goal Zero and Jackery because they're really big brands. This allows R600 to be fully recharged in 2 hours using any regular wall outlet, which is super convenient. And then lastly, I have here customize. You have several options to customize. As I showed in that graphic before with all the different options, you can customize it, which is not too, you don't see that very often with solar generators. So why choose the R600? Proven track record. The EcoFlow Delta 1300 is a great system, and the reason why I say it's great, even though I don't have the system, I've reviewed a lot of different people who have this system, and the main person I want to talk about is Will Prowse, who is like the main guy on YouTube for these sort of things. And I went on his website and he actually recommends this one. And I believe the only other ones are, I think, the Blue Eddy 1500 and the 0.0 Energy Titan. So this system is, if that's approved by Will Prowse, who's very critical on solar generators, then it has a proven track record. So it's innovative. This is just a random image I pulled up. That doesn't mean anything about innovation, but innovative in the sense that they have an application. They have all these cool technologies, X-Boost, Extreme, and there's also something called, I think it's X-Link. I don't get into that in this video, but that's something to look into if you're actually want to buy this, or you're looking into it for more research. Yeah, so lastly here, my main recommendation is to just do your research. Look at Will Prowse's videos on this, because he goes way more in depth than I'm going at right now. And then see if there's anyone else out there that has reviews on it and see what they think. It's best to just get a full suite of different people who have personal experience with this system. And of course, thank you. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to hear more or listen to more or watch more information on solar generators, different frequently asked questions with them, comparisons, and also solar panel options. I have a few videos on that as well. And then comment if you have any of these systems that I mentioned, let me know, or any solar generator, any questions at all, let me know. If there's anything to improve on, of course, please let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback, and then like it if you enjoyed this video. Lastly, the link in the description I'll have to my full article of the R600, and these images are here because within that article, I think it's like 1/3 in, I actually have a full EcoFlow comparison. I just, not really a comparison, but I just overview all the different generators. So I have the Delta, this is the River 500, and then I just go all the way down to their battery banks. So if you want more information on that, you have it there. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Today is Thanksgiving, so I hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you later.